Carroll wants these three names away from the Raiders, and the fans will have to accept that checkout. What's at stake to make matters worse? The Raiders started winning at the end of the season. Yes, this may be a good sign for the franchise. However, it moved the Raiders out of position to land what would be their first #1 overall draft pick since 2007. Considering the team's needs, that finish could make this offseason significantly more difficult in Las Vegas. The team made a very solid hire in Pete Carroll to replace Pierce at head coach. If anybody is going to bring steady veteran leadership to the franchise, it's Carroll here. We'll identify the three players who are the Las Vegas Raiders' cut candidates entering the 2025 NFL off-season 1. Gardner Minshew. Gardner Minshew was brought in as a veteran bridge option. However, his 2024 stint with the Raiders proved to be uninspiring at best, signed to a one-year incentive, laden deal. The hope was that Minshew could to provide stability while O'Connell continued his development. Instead, the veteran quarterback struggled. He posted pedestrian numbers and failed to deliver when the Raiders needed him most. Yes, Minshew's trademark confidence and energy remained. That said, his limitations as a passer became increasingly evident in an offense that lacked an identity. It would be a surprise if the Raiders brought Minshew back for the 2025 season with over $90 million in projected cap space. They do not need to cut him, but keeping him around would muddy the waters. The only reason they may keep Moo is that cutting him means they will save only $63 million. Finding a reasonable backup on the open market will cost somewhere close to that. However, with cost not being an issue, the Raiders need to make a decision based on harmony. If Minshew is happy to be a backup, they may not cut him, but that feels risky. 2. Jack Jones. The Raiders don't really need to carve out cap space. They have the second highest projected cap space number in the league. There aren't a lot of candidates to cut. That even makes sense. If the Raiders decide to do some housekeeping, then Jack Jones could be a surprise candidate. The entirety of his $3.3 million cap hit would come off the books if they release him. Jones was a mid-season acquisition in 2023 and really looked like a success story of Antonio Pierce's coaching regime. However, he kind of came back down to earth this season. He was also responsible for giving up 8 touchdowns in coverage per Pro Football Reference. 3. Andre James. Andre James doesn't generate a ton of cap savings. Only $1.4 million of his cap hit would come off the books. If he's cut before June 1st, that number would climb to $3.2 million if they wait until after June 1st. Either way, it doesn't feel like James will be on the Raiders roster by the beginning of next season. Rookie Jackson Powers Johnson took over the starting center job by the end of the season. In addition, the new regime will not have a sense of loyalty to the veteran. James is scheduled to be paid like a starting lineman. However, it's hard seeing the Raiders not going with Powers Johnson as the center moving forward. Waiting until June 2nd or later could give them a little budget boost to post some third or fourth wave free agents. Also, comment on other names you think the Raiders should cut immediately.